High school, my friend gave me like an Initial D manga, so I started like reading it, and then he was like, oh, did you know they make an anime too? So then like I started watching the Initial D anime, and then I basically got into the whole like 90s Japanese car like scene. So yeah, I was like in love with just like the 90s era and the early 2000s because of Initial D. So that's why most of my cars are like from that era.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Automotive Anatomy. Today we have Neil. Neil, thank you so much.
What's up, guys?
By the way, man, the fact that you just got off from work and it's about 10 in the morning, dude, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you had your coffee already, but definitely go get some rest after this. We really appreciate your time. And tell us, man, what do you drive?
So right now I drive a 2002 Toyota MRS.
Toyota MRS. Man, gorgeous little cars. Before we get into this car, how did we even get started into the modification, and where did that bug start for you?
Ooh, I mean, I've had a few other like JDM cars in the past, and I've always been modding since maybe like a decade ago. So yeah.
A decade ago? What?
I'm old, bro.
You look like 18, dude. You started at 8. What?
No, I'm a fossil now.
A fossil.
Yeah.
So how did that bug started for you? Like, what was the car, or how did that go?
Oh yeah. So I mean, it sounds cliche, but I
Fast
basically
and Furious.
No.
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Probably the other most popular like pop culture car thing, which is Initial D. Yeah.
Oh no! Okay, so that's cool.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I actually played a lot of Initial D in the arcades. And then when I was in high school,
you are a fossil.
Yeah.
Half of the people don't know what that is. What's an arcade and what? Okay, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't know they had that game.
Yeah, so they had like a lot of. They're still developing Initial D arcade games right now.
Oh
yeah,
wow!
so,
okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but I was playing it back then, and then when I was in high school, my friend gave me like an Initial D manga, so I started like reading it, and then he was like, oh, did you know they make an anime too? So then like I started watching the Initial D anime, and then I basically got into the whole like 90s Japanese car like scene. So yeah, I was like in love with just like the 90s era and the early 2000s because of Initial D. So that's why most of my cars are like from that era.
And you couldn't afford a Hachiroku, so that's why we have an MRS.
Man, the prices are only going up. So
okay, so that's how it started.
Yeah.
So like you fell in love with the whole Japanese, the Sylvias, all that good stuff.
Yeah, basically all Japanese car culture. Yeah, so that's what got me into like modifying cars.
Gotcha.
Too. Yeah.
All right, Neil, tell us about your YouTube channel. What can we expect? What's the name of it? What can we expect from the channel?
All right, so the name of my YouTube channel is Neil Vegeta Dang, N-E-I-L Vegeta, like the Dragon Ball Z character, and Dang is my last name, D-A-N-G. It's the same as my like main Instagram account.
Okay.
My car has its own Instagram account, which is Touge MRS. But yeah, my YouTube channel is about just like, it originally was supposed to be fitness and just like lifestyle vlogs, and now it's just still kind of like the same thing, I guess, but more into cars now. I just started shooting car vlogs this year just for fun because I thought the MRS was a neat car to share with the world. So yeah, it's just a build that I wanted to share, and that's why I'm back on YouTube this year. And but I will be bringing back like fitness and lifestyle content later on as well.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So a little bit of fitness, car stuff, and modifications and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's literally just a channel about me, you know, like about me and what I do. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. All right, for sure. Hopefully, you guys, you can get a few people to check it out and subscribe. Now you're of age to get your own car. What are you looking at? Are you looking for something specific, or how does that go about? No, when you first got your car, your very first car.
Oh, okay. For my first car, at that time, like I just wanted something to take me from point A to B, and I didn't really like have a lot of money back then. So my first car was actually a 1994 Toyota Celica. Yeah. Oh,
so we're kind of close though.
Kinda, yeah. So
okay,
that was my first car, but it was an automatic. I mean, but it did the job. You know, it was a good daily, but then it started like breaking down on me. So yeah, I just kept going like from car to car, and yeah.
So which one was the first car that you bought that was like very like you had potential to modify it?
Oh, well, I mean, I already modified the Celica actually. Yeah, my first car I already got to work, even though it was like an auto at the time. Yeah. And yeah, my second car was a NB Miata. It was the Roadster, and it was like the purple one. It was like some anniversary or special edition, I forgot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it came with like wood, Nardi interior, but that was the first car I like slammed because back then like stance was the scene. Yeah, so like I got that car, and that was actually really fun. Yeah, because it was like my first introduction to like Japanese roadsters. Yeah. So.
And then you picked up an S2000, right?
later on. So, yeah, so it was like NB Miata, FRS, and then...
Oh, wow, you have a theme.
Yeah, and then Integra LS, Integra GSR, AP2S 2000, EP3, and now I'm on this one.
Okay, you are a fossil.
Yeah, dude. But I mean, yeah, it's rare for me to own a car for like more than 2 years. So
oh, okay.
Yeah, I go through cars kind of a lot.
All right, so hopefully he's selling me this one, right?
No,
this will stay.
Well, I say that now, but we'll see.
We'll see. You change your mind. Yeah. So, how did we come about this one? When did that bug like kind of like? Okay, I want an MRS.
Okay, so I had an AP2S 2000. I sold it because I needed something with a little more space, so I got an EP3. And then, like, it was
more space.
Dude, I was, yeah. So I mean, I was kind of regretting it, like later on. But then the EP3 was a great daily. It just wasn't sporty enough for me, so I wanted something else. I wanted something sporty again. And then I like bumped into Best Motoring Official, and they featured the Techno Pro Spirit MRS in the hot version battles, and I was like, oh, like MRSs can be pretty badass, you know. And if you asked me a decade ago, I was never interested in them, you know. Right. Like I actually thought they were kind of ugly back then, yeah. but yeah. So I like started looking into them, and then I went on Instagram hashtags, and then I looked up MR2 Spider, MRS, and I saw like some really good examples of one, and then I was like, oh, they can actually look good too. So then I finally like decided to like shop for one. And literally within like a month of looking for one, I was able to find this after going through like a few ads. And yeah, this is my third Japanese roadster and my current favorite, actually.
Your favorite?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
you pick it up. What's the vision for it?
What's the vision for this? So I actually got this car with the intention of like having it be like a fun like Touge and track car. So that's basically what it is right now. Maybe, yeah, this is pretty much the vision I have for it already. So it's almost complete, but you know how cars are.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, this car doesn't need much.
It doesn't.
It handles very well. I mean, yeah, sure, people will argue that it doesn't have that much power, but this is not a drag car. This is a twisty car, and unless you've driven one or you've been inside one of them, you don't understand what these cars can do.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, out of all of my 3 Japanese roadsters, this is the closest thing to a go-kart.
So we can get into it. The front end, tell us, what do we got going on?
Okay, so front end right now, what we have going on is just, I guess I'll just start from this. This is the JDM badge midship runabout. That's what the MR actually stands for. I actually used to think it stood for mid-engine rear-wheel drive, but I learned that, oh, it's midship runabout. I still don't know what that means, but okay. You know, it looks cool though, because I always get people asking me what car this is, and there's nothing on my car that says Toyota, so people don't really know what it is. Aside from that, just got a TRD lip and TRD lip kit all around. Everything's pretty much stock. Got a little tow hook for the track. Just decided to leave it there because it was actually really convenient to not like take it out and on. And it actually saved my life once because I got stuck on like 2 consecutive speed bumps, and some truck actually used my tow hook to pull me out. So yeah, some good Samaritans. So it actually came in handy. Not on the track, but
I was like, you saved my life, and I was like, oh my God. Like, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the front end.
You got stuck.
I got stuck, dude. It was horrible. I couldn't push the car. I couldn't pull the car, and then luckily, like, the Samaritan pulling up, he happened to have a tow latch and pulled my car with his truck. So
freaking teenager. Like, dude, I'm like 40. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Any future plans for the front end?
There was a aftermarket bumper that I wanted, but like, so the aftermarket bumper that I wanted, I've been trying to hit up like different companies for it, but none of them seem to have it right now. I don't know how to explain it, but it basically just looks like more aggressive, you know? So like the side markers are gone. It's like less of a smile, but it looks cool.
That smile.
Yeah.
More like a frown face.
Just more like mean, you know? Mean, yeah. So, but other than that, I do want like some eyelids eventually for the car. It's just really, really rare because the ones I want are from C1. Yeah, but still C1 makes eyelids for like the top and the bottom, but I just want like the top portion.
Gotcha. Yeah. And I have heard that the aftermarket support it's kind of there, not there.
It's developing. Like there's
is it still developing?
Yeah. So right now,
awesome.
Yeah, there's companies that are actually making parts for the MRS like as we speak. You know.
Oh, that's so good for you.
Finally,
guys.
Right? Yeah, and I think they're picking up. Like, oh, like more people are starting to try to get these cars. So in the very beginning, though, it was kind of hard to like find parts. But then after like meeting some MRS guys, they kind of showed me like some places to find parts for it.
Awesome.
So it's been better. Yeah.
All right. And then tell us about your suspension pieces. What do you got going on?
So actually suspension, nothing too crazy. It's actually on Megan Easy coilovers. Yeah, but they've actually done a pretty good job both in the canyons, dailying, and at the track. Other than that, I do have like some bracing under the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stiffen it up.
Yeah. So it wasn't even me. The previous owner had already set it up, but I can't identify what it is because I don't see a brand on it. So I think it's just like custom bracing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the car feels really, really good for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a handling car. You know, it's pretty crazy to think that even just lowering it helps a little bit, but even stock is like, you know, it's good.
Yeah.
But plus, it gives a nice aesthetic look for us that we like.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Braking system stock?
It's on EBC yellow brake pads, but other than that, it's pretty much stock. Yeah, okay. Calipers, rotors are all stock. It's just brake pads.
Any major plan for the suspension, brakes?
Suspension, my buddy owns S3 suspension. They use Swift springs for their coilovers, so I might upgrade to that down the line. Nice. But other than that, the car actually feels so good right now as is. So no plans for it really, other than like a change in better coilovers.
Awesome. Yeah. And then side skirts. What kind of side skirts?
Oh yeah, so the side skirts are also TRD. It's just a TRD lip kit all around. Yeah. So
now, not that I'm bashing you or I personally don't care. Is this authentic TRD?
No, but it's just easier for me to tell people TRD because if I tell people it's something else, they're like, "What is that?"
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's very difficult to find TRD authentic stuff.
It is, yeah.
I don't think you would want to rock it on a daily either.
Yeah, I mean, I bought this car knowing that it was going to get beat up. So like, in terms of like body kits, I don't care too much if it gets abused, you know?
Oh, okay.
So
I agree, 1000%. But I just want to make sure because I'm like, if it was authentic, then you know, let's emphasize the fact that it is authentic because it's, you know, it's so difficult to find it. But I'm glad I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
The fitment looks proper.
Actually,
only you would know.
Yeah. So it's a VIS. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but yeah. So it's a VIS TRD rep kit.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what it is. But the fitment is so much better than like the Duraflex ones. So if you guys are in the market for a lip kit for the MRS, go for VIS. The fitment was literally like plug and play.
Fiberglass?
Yes. But I was able to latch everything on without even putting the bolts on yet. So like
it just tight fit.
Yeah, it just hooked onto the car.
Okay, awesome. Wheel and tire setup. What do you got going
on? So the wheels right now, these are actually my dream wheels since like I was a kid. Back then I used to rock Rota grids because they looked a lot like the TE37s. So now I'm an adult and I can afford these. So yeah, they're TE37 SLs. These are actually like my favorite wheels of all time. They're the lightest version of the TEs available in the market right now, and I just learned that they're being discontinued this year. Yeah, so I was indecisive about the colorway that I wanted. It was between white, bronze, or titanium silver, but then I'm really happy I went with the white.
Hard to maintain.
It's hard to maintain, especially because I keep getting brake dust on it. But
because you drive the car.
I drive the car, yeah.
Which is a good thing.
But that's what it's meant for.
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
Yeah.
And what are the specs on those?
15 by 8 plus 35.
Plus 35.
Yeah, and the tires that I'm on right now are Federal RSRs, 205, 50, 15.
Perfect.
Yeah, street tires. So.
Rubbing issues?
So yeah, just a little bit in the front. I haven't been able to run 225s, and I think it's because I'm too low.
225s, but I don't think they were supposed to be 225s.
Dude,
on MRS though. That's the thing.
Some guys are able to fit it, but
on stock body?
Yeah. So
wow.
Or just with some fender work, but like I maxed out the fenders as well as I could. I pulled out the liner on some areas, but 205s is the best I can fit in the front right now.
I think that 205 looks great, but I mean, if you can fit 225s,
yeah, it's because the Federals do run a little wider. So a Federal 205 is kind of like a 215.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
No, but the fitment on it is perfect, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. I think it looks great too.
Hi, Neil. Very, very clean interior, man.
Thanks, man.
Wow. What are we looking at, man?
So this is the latest model Brid seat right here. I just got this recently. This is the Brid ZEG 4. It's similar to the Zeta, but it's more ergonomic, more comfortable. This has the low max system, so it's like the seating position's lower and your butt is actually lower than your knee joint, so that way like you don't shoot forward when you're like under hard braking.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I do like the design a lot, and no one really has these right now because they're still pretty new. I also just picked up that seat. I actually ordered that in January and it barely came in this like literally a few days ago. This is Charge Speed. They're known for making body kits, but they also make seats that people aren't really aware of.
Oh.
I wanted to keep the seats JDM, Japanese, so I didn't want to go with like Sparco or anything else. I just wanted to keep it either Brid, Recaro, or Charge Speed. Yeah, so Yeah, that's the current seat setup.
Love it.
Yeah, for steering wheel, I have the Momo Monte Carlo 320 millimeter. It's just on an NRG quick release and NRG hub.
It fits the car so nicely. Sorry, because it's small. You know?
Yeah, so the steering wheel is a 320 millimeter, and I picked that because like the Lotus Elise also uses a 320 millimeter stock wheel, and the MRS is because of like how small the car is. 320 just feels like so perfect on this car. Yeah, it feels really go-karty. For sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Shift knob, that's a Battlecraft Parts shift knob. It's the Hyper Teardrop 44 millimeter. It's actually so comfortable on the hands as well. And last, I just got like a Hard Dog roll bar. This is the double diagonal roll bar. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my interior.
For the roll bar, did you have to cut any plastics?
Yeah, so I had to remove the original doors that were here. I cut the plastics to make it fit in here, and that way like I can still store stuff, you know, instead of like just showing like straight metal. There's also carpet under the convertible hood that I put back because it has like sound deadening, which helps keep the interior a little bit more quiet. Yeah.
And now you like the convertible, you don't like the hardtop?
I actually don't care for a hardtop because I do like driving this car top down.
Brandon just cried, Simon just cried.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I mean, if I do get I do want a hardtop eventually, but it's not something like I care for. It's like literally the last thing on my list.
Definitely.
So, yeah. I mean, I got a Japanese Roadster because I wanted to enjoy the top down like feeling.
Like a day to day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's perfect. No,
yeah.
I get you, completely understand.
Yeah.
Anything major for the interior that you can think of?
You know what? If I can get an S2000 cluster in there, I will.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would like. I haven't seen it done, but yeah, that's something I would be really interested in doing.
Good luck.
I know.
You're gonna have to cut a couple things.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll come out great, but you're gonna have to cut a couple little things on the dash and just to make that work.
Because that was actually my favorite thing on my old AP2. It's just the digital dash is so sick, you know? Yeah. So if I could get that in here, I'm content.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's the only thing you miss from the S2000.
Yeah, that's really the only thing I miss, to be honest. And VTEC, you know, obviously.
And VTEC.
Yeah. All right, so my engine bay is kind of horrendous right now, guys. I'm sorry.
It's a daily. It's okay.
All right, so this is...
not this horrendous. No, I'm kidding. This is cool, man.
Yeah, so I went off the track and it hasn't been cleaned since then, but that's why it's a little dirty. But this is the stock 1ZZ motor that's in the car. It is running an engine short air intake and HKS sport exhaust. I do want to get PPE headers and downpipe later on, but right now this is pretty much what I've got. Not much in terms of like power, so, but the car is light, so it actually feels pretty good already.
I was gonna ask you, how do you personally feel about the power that it has on the car at the moment? Well, your bolt-ons.
At the moment, I feel like it's good. You know, I'm pretty content with it, and I've driven Simon's car, Camina 86, and with the PPE setup, it actually feels like completely different. It has so much more torque.
Oh.
Yeah, which is insane because I usually think that bolt-ons don't do much, but his car felt so good. So,
because he's still on the 1CZ, right?
Yeah, he's still on the 1ZZ.
Brandon's on the 2ZZ.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
gotcha.
Yeah, 2ZZ was my original plan, but after driving Simon's, I might just do the whole PPE setup and enjoy it while it is.
How many miles did you get the car with, and how many does it have now?
So the car has 96,000 miles right now. I got it with 87,000.
Oh, okay. So you put like about 12, whatever. 10.
Something like that, yeah. And I've only had the car for like a little over a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So reliability, how's that for you?
Really good. The only thing I've done is literally oil change and regular maintenance, and that's pretty much it.
Toyota for you, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, speaking of that, I mean, you want to obviously keep it reliable.
Yeah.
Major future plans, like let's say, you know, down the road, like if it, I hope not, but if it was to go down, You say you would still keep with the 1cc,
no.
build it, or
yeah. So if the 1cc,
K20,
you know, I thought about that too. But for me, if the 1ZZ dies, I'll just go 2ZZ. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be really, really content with that, and I don't want to like over invest in this car because there is another car I'm trying to chase right now. So yeah. Yeah, but I think honestly, with being the 1ZZ being so enjoyable already in this car, I feel like the 2ZZ is good. You know. Yeah. But I mean, I say that now, but plans are always changing when it comes to cars. But I've seen like Simon do like amazing times with the 1ZZ at the track, so I'd be happy to hit those times with this too. Yeah. Yeah,
definitely, man. This car is just beautiful. And for you on a personal level, how hard is it to work on?
Not too hard. Okay. Yeah, not too hard. So I mean, it's Toyota. Everything's pretty easy. The only thing that's annoying is this strut bar right here. But once you get that off, you can pretty much access everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's definitely something that I know may not persuade people to go and get this car just because of the mid-engine.
Oh yeah.
And it's scary. You know, it's intimidating. Yeah. You know, yeah. But that's something that it comes with the territory. But obviously, the positioning of the car, the way it sounds, the way the car feels is a whole different experience. It's pretty rad, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Alrighty. So anything else in the motor that you can think of that you maybe, you know, maybe a little snail? No. NA for life.
NA for life. Yeah. Okay. And I have heard that they make like ECUs that really help, like plug and play ECUs that really help boost the power too. So, and the performance of the motor. So maybe that's something down the line. But other than that, I'm pretty content with the 1ZZ right now.
Okay, you're not gonna cut your firewall for the ITBs?
No. Nope.
You're like, nope.
Yeah.
I like to keep my back cold. That's awesome, man. Love it.
Yeah.
And then tell us about your exhaust system. What do you have?
Oh yeah, so it's an HKS Sport exhaust, and when I first got it, like I was kind of disappointed because it sounded so quiet, but I think there was like a breaking in period because now it actually sounds really, really good.
Breaking in period?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was weird. It was quiet.
You mean an exhaust leak?
I don't know. It actually sounds great now though.
Okay.
Yeah, and it has like a little gurgle to it. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, so it sounds deep, and I have a few people already telling me like it sounds kind of like a Subaru, like a WRX. So I don't...
For sure exhaust leak.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it sounds sick though.
That's cool, man. Yeah. Hopefully you don't start vaping though, you know? Subaru thing, you know?
Yeah. Nope.
Not yet. You're like, not yet. We'll see. Well, all right, man. Well, thank you so much for making the time for us, Neil.
Yeah,
like, man. I love these cars, man. I'll be honest with you. I did not know the potential. I saw those same videos that you say, you know, the Touge battles, and that's really what interested me in finding a little bit more about this car when I first saw it for the first time at a Toyota meet or coverage, some type of Toyota event, an actual event. I had no idea what they were. I just like, what is this? And so from that moment on, I kind of got stuck by it. And then meeting Simon, Brandon, Johnny, even David with the newer MR2, it definitely awakened the passion for that, man.
Yeah, man, it's a forgotten Japanese roadster, in my opinion. You know.
I think people are finding them though.
Now they are.
People are finding them now,
They're
man.
getting more acknowledgement.
And the price is reflecting on that.
Yeah.
Sadly. So thank you for the time. I really appreciate it, man. Any shout outs?
Shout outs. Oof. Man, I got a lot. Well, actually, I don't even know where to begin. So shout out to our compound. They always take care of like my tires. So if you guys need tires, they're a good shop to go to. Shout out to Art of Attack. They actually helped me install my roll bar. Hence rocking them right now. Awesome. Shout out to my brother for helping me, Feynman, aka the Enthusiast Garage, for helping me locate the TE37s because they're my dream wheels. Shout out to my buddy Kamichi because he actually helped me with the body kit, and I actually purchased the roll bar off him. Yeah, and the kit off him. Yeah, and he's the owner of S3 suspension, so that's the coilovers that I was telling you that I'm going to swap into next time. Yeah, and shout out to my buddy Simon, obviously, for helping me source a bunch of parts that I've trying to hunt down. So yeah. Yeah, and yeah, so
that's awesome, dude. So many it's a tight community, and I'm so glad to hear that people and companies are actually building stuff for them because they're pretty cool cars.
Yeah, and shout out to Battlecraft knobs. Battlecraft parts for making stick shift knobs too.
Yeah, like, so they're great,
dude. They're so good.
That's awesome, man. And anybody else you forgot about? Because I know in the moment, you know, you forget and...
Yeah, I can't think of anything right now, but...
I'm sure there's going to be somebody who's going to be like, oh, you didn't mention me.
Yeah.
You'll get a DM
Guys,
later.
I'm sorry.
You'll get a DM later, don't worry.
I'm so
They'll
sorry.
remind you. No, but I appreciate the time, man. Again, this is an amazing car, and I'm glad that you're driving it every single day. I'm glad that you're taking it to the track, to the canyons. That's what it's all about, man. This is what this car was made of for. And thank you so much for the opportunity to learn about you, your story, and obviously this is one badass build, man. Thanks, you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.